Okay, hello friends. So this is Devabrata. So, I think you all know about me if you have checked the previous videos. If not, I will recommend you to visit the links given in the detail section of this video. Okay, so I will not waste time. So one suggestion will be for you from me is, as I am a slow learner, I would recommend you to practice more so that you can overcome your difficulties and dream big. Okay, so we will learn everything in and out today uh, for the topic we will be taking. So today's topic will be if. Okay, so we have a basic idea of how to write a basic programming. So today we will be covered if block. So in some situation we have to use if. So when will we use if? Is it just because of in our syllabus and for some specific pattern of questions or problems we have to use if? That's why we'll be using if? No. We have to understand why should we receive or why should we um, um, have the knowledge of if. Okay, so let me quickly go into the Excel app. If you do not know how to draw or how to, okay, just a minute, how to make a app using Excel, you can check my last video. But if you do not know anything, so still also you can check. So from the developer tab, I am going to insert one button. You can try this at your home, but it will not be in your syllabus. Okay, just check this for fun. After that, I will be moving to the coding part. Okay, so do not need to think much. Just check the app I am trying to build. So I have already built a couple of app in my last video. So you can check the same as well. So I have introduced two checkbox, two text box. Okay. So let me give some colors into that. Uh, Back color. Let me do it. It is unimportant at all, but still I will be doing that to have a good flavor of the code. Okay, there are not much color available. So anyway, so let me change the command button name. Last video we have done the sum, so now we will do the add. Okay, or the sum. Okay, addition or division. Sorry, let me do the division this time. Okay, and okay, sorry, I need to introduce another variable, another two numbers I need actually. So insert another text box where I will store the result. Okay, let it be. Okay, let me change the color for the same as well. Where is the back color? Yeah, back color. So you can try this in your local computer. Okay, so let me give that color, and this should be similar with. Let me give it blue. Okay, it is not important at all. So if the design mode is on, if the design mode is off, then you cannot do anything. Means you can just press or you can click on the button. But if the design mode is on, if you click on the button, you will directly go inside the code. Okay, this is a visual basic coding, and you do not need to learn the same. Okay, just check what I am doing and what is the necessary in real world to learn if. Okay, so that I am going to show you the exact use of if. Then I will move to the, okay, sorry, yeah, then I will move to the coding of QBasic. Okay, so in ABC, three variable I have introduced. A will take the value from text box 1. Okay, B will take the value from text box 2. So what is text box 2 to text box 1? Let me show you. If you do not know anything, if you have not checked the last video, no need to worry. I am showing everything. Text box 1 and this is text box 2. Okay, so whatever the value will be written here, that will go inside the A, and whatever the value will be written in this text box will be go inside the B. So after that, what I will do, C equals to A by B. Okay, and after that, text box 3 will show, sorry, text box 3 will show the answer C. Okay, What is text box 3? That is this one. This box is called text box 3. Okay, look, in the name box you can see text box 3. Okay, so let me turn off this design mode and let me close this code because we have already written the same. So now I will write say 20 in the first box and 5 in the second box, and I will click division. Look, it is giving me the correct result. So a cool app we can make quickly. Okay, so let me give some other values. Let me give 50 and here 2 say. So it will give 25. Okay, so you can try with any value 75 and divisible by 5. It is giving 15 because in your mobile phone or any digital machines or any software, any app, you can see this type of button. So actually inside that button some code has been written. Okay, but it is you cannot see the code because design mode is off. Okay, so that is the logic behind every means all the coding behind an app or behind an software. So now, so what will happen if anyone gives 0 in this box? So if I click on division, look, it is showing an error. So if I click on debug, it is showing the code. But this cannot be happened in your mobile phone or any real world app, because anyhow you will not be able to see Android programming in your Android mobile, or you will not be able to see the coding behind any app or any software. Never ever you will be able to see that code. Okay, so to restrict that part, what will we do? Let me stop this. Okay, let me turn on the design mode and let me go inside the division. So whenever B is given 0, we are getting this error. So you can try the same in your mobile phone calculator or in your computer calculator as well. Let me do the same. Let me check what will happen if I try to divide something with 0 in my calculator in my PC. So look, it is showing a message rather a number. It is giving a message, cannot divide by 0. So I will be trying to do the same in case of mine. Okay, so after giving the input, I will check if B equals to 0, then I will print message box. Do not need to learn the code. Okay, just check what I'm doing. I am writing you fool cannot divided by 0. I am adding one extra phrase like you fool cannot divided by 0. So if anyone gives B equals to 0, then he or she will get this message. Else means if he has given a correct value, then he or she will be able to see C equals to A plus B and text box 3 dot text equals to C. That message. End if. So we are done. Okay, so if B equals to 0, then only the code will go to this part. Okay, and else for any other cases, it will go, sorry for the noise, it will go inside this block. Okay, it will go inside this block. Okay, so let me run the code now. Design mode on. Okay, design mode off now. So 75 divided by 5, I will try to divide it by 5. Division. Look, it is giving the correct result because it is going inside the else block. Okay. So I will show you what is how we can write the else block more efficiently. So, but for the timing, check this. 100 divided by 4. Whenever I am clicking on division, it is giving 25 correctly. Okay, but if anyone gives 0 here, and if I click on division, look, it is giving you fool cannot divided by 0, our message. So the calculator built in your laptop, in your desktop, or in your mobile phone, that is basically using this part of coding behind the button, behind the division button in your calculator. Okay, so now this is the use of if. In some special cases, we have to show some different message to user, and for some special cases we will perform a different set of actions. Like here, if B is 0, we are showing a special message. If not, we are showing a we are performing some actions. Okay, so let me quickly go inside the QBasic compiler. We will try to do the same here. Okay, so before that, in if block, today we will cover nested if and composite if here. Okay, so I will show what do you mean by nested if and composite if. So prerequisite before you start this video, like it would be good if you check the first video starting programming. But if you haven't checked the video, no issue. I will show everything. Okay, and the second thing is time in hand. You have to practice all those exercises I will show today. So you have to solve it by your hand in your compiler, in your QBasic compiler. So without wasting time, quickly go into the problem. So some basic problems that we can solve using if is, suppose maximum between two number. If anyone asks to find the maximum between two number, okay. So let take some input from user. So to take input from user, you have to write a statement like, I think some of you already know, and if you do not know, I am writing the same for you. Enter first number, and it is say x, and input enter second number. Okay, sorry. Enter second number. Let it be y. Okay, and after that I will take the division. So, oh, sorry, not division, the maximum number. So if x greater than y, so user will input two different number for x and y. So if x greater than y, then I will print maximum is x. Okay, else print maximum is y. Okay, and if, okay, let me run this program for you. It will take some time in my QBasic compiler. I don't know why it takes some time. So let's wait. It is taking time. So okay, let me explain in between. So if the value of x is greater than y, then it will show the value of x. If the value of x is not greater than y, then it will show the value of y. So enter first number. I am entering the first number as say 10 and second number as 5. So it will go inside the if block and it will show maximum is 10. Okay, let me run this program once again. Now I will give some other values like 5 and 20. So it will be checking 5 is greater than 20. It will say, computer will say no. So it will go inside else and it will print 20. Okay, in some of your program, some of my students program, I have checked, some of them has used to write this code, maximum is x and maximum is y. Okay, so suppose if I run the program and give the values like 5 and 20, and computer is giving me an output like maximum is P, or maximum is R, maximum is A. What does it mean? So user will be scared of. Okay, user will not understand anything at all. So it will be good to not to show the variable in between, means we have used. So we will just show the value of that variable. Okay, we will not show the names of the variable. So it will be good to use this x and y. So either the control will go inside this part, means the first part, or it will go inside this second part. It cannot go into simultaneously into two parts, means any one of them will be executed. Okay, not both of them. Okay, at any one of them. Okay, please be remembered. Okay, so the next problem is find the area and perimeter of a rectangle and find which one is greater. Area and perimeter of a rectangle. So I am deleting all the lines. Okay, so x and y I am taking, or you can use some meaningful variable as well, like side 1, side 2, anything. So enter side 1 and I am entering side 2. Now I need to first calculate the area and perimeter. Area will be x into y, and the perimeter will be say 2 into x plus y. I do not like mathematics much, so I will give computer to solve the same. So now I'll be checking if A greater than P, sorry, then it will print area is greater. Now this is a message like area is greater, okay. And else it will print perimeter is greater. Okay. And after that I will do end it. Okay, that's all. Let me run. I do not know. Okay, sorry, I forgot. My mistake. I clicked on the wrong button. Okay. So run the video or sorry, run the software. Sorry. Yeah, it is taking some time. Let me give 10 and 5. Okay. I am a lazy person. I do not like to think much. So enter side 1 10 and enter side 2 5. So area will be, I do not know if area is really greater or not. Let me calculate 10 into 5. Area is 50 and perimeter is 2 into 10 plus 5 means 30, I guess. Okay. So area is greater. You can use your calculator to validate the same if my answer is correct or not. Okay. So the next problem. Enter a year and find if it is leap year or not. So it is a very good problem. So I do not need to take two input here because user will be entered only the year. Enter, I will ask from user enter year, and I will check if when a year is leap year, as a general question, a year becomes leap year when simply it is divisible by 4. I know there are more logics behind, but for simplicity, you can find those difficult problems in my exercise. If you go to the exercise, I will show how to find the exercise at the last of the video. But for the time being, I am considering if a year is divisible by 4, then it is a leap year. If it is not, then it is not a leap year. So how to check a number is divisible by another number? So what I will do, I will use my intelligence, or I will do some tricks like if y mod 4 equals to 0. Mod means the remainder. So if a year given by user means if a number mod 4 means if I divide a number with 4, if the remainder comes 0, then only we can say, okay, the number is divisible by 4. Just think, if anyone gives 8, if you divide 8 with 4, what will be the remainder? 0. What will be remainder if you divide 9 divided by 4? The remainder will be 1. 10 divided by 4, remainder will be 2. 11 divided by 4, remainder will be 3. Right? Again, 12 divided by 4, remainder will be 0. So I think you are able to understand now. So if the year mod 4 equals to 0, then it means the year is uh, divisible by the 4. So it is leap year in that case. So I will print leap year. Else I will print not a leap year. Okay. So end if. Okay. So let me run the program. So yeah, I have written no a leap year, but it is good to do some mistakes. But our program will run, but show a different message. No. Okay. So if I give a year like 2020, it will show yes, it is a leap year. Yeah. So if I give a year like 2025, so it will comes into the else part, because the remainder, if you really divide 2025 with 4, then it will give a remainder 1. So it is not 0. So it will show a no, a leap year. Okay. So it should be something like not a leap year. Okay. Anyway, so that doesn't matter actually. So we have now learned how to write basic if problems. So we can use the following relational operators: greater than, we have already used in first two problems. Greater than, equals to, that also we can use. Less than equals to we have used. Suppose if we need to perform not equals to, then we can use this the last sign, not equals to. So, okay, let me quickly show you. We can also write like this: if while mod 4 not equals to 0, then I will say not a leap year, else a leap year. Okay, cool one, I guess. So if you are able to understand, it is very good. Otherwise, I will recommend to pause the video. If needed, go back and solve the problem in your compiler. Okay, so enter a year, say 2025, not a leap year. Okay, the same thing in a reversed manner. So you can use anyone, whatever first comes into your mind. Okay, so is there any way to print the code from both if and else block? Means I need to print not a leap year and a leap year, both the things. So it is not possible at all. Answer is no. Make it clear. You cannot run both the part. Either it will go into the means this direction, otherwise it will go into the this direction. Okay, any you can go into any one way. Okay, so okay, so today we will going to learn 5 different topics, because there is nothing more regarding the syntax. That's all about the syntax. So if you feel that is enough for you, you can leave. You do not need to watch the rest of the video. But if you really dream big, and if you really want to learn the if block correctly, okay, because we will not learn anything else. Now we will see how to break different logics, okay, using this if else part. So that's all we have learned. That's all about the syntax. We will not learn anything else. But now we will uh, implement this if block into complex work. Okay. So we will learn 5 topics altogether in this tutorial in if block. So without wasting time, quickly move into the topic 1, that is scope of if block. So suppose if anyone asks that enter 2 numbers and find the division. Okay. So I think we all have checked just few minutes back. So enter first number. Let me type this for you once again. Enter first number, say X, input, enter second number, and that is equals to Y. And suppose if anyone gives, just think a situation, it is quite normal. If anyone gives 5 before 20, means the small number into the first and the larger number into the second. So what will happen in that case? So I will do one thing. I will use I will swap the values. So I will check if somehow b greater than a, okay, then what I will do, I will swap the values using a third variable. So this is a common code. If you do not know, you can check the first video. So t equals to a equals to b, swapping values, b will take the value of t. So the value of a will go inside a, the value of a will go inside b, and the value of b will go inside a. So by that way, we can swap the values. So end if, so now we can confirm the larger value is inside A and the smaller value is inside B. Okay, so one thing to learn here, it is not mandatory that always you will have if and else block. It might possible that you only have the if. Okay, so it is a lesson for topic 1. So it is not mandatory you will have if and else block always. So it is possible to have only if block. Okay, but for the else you have to have one if block. Okay, so but another misconception we have that we can use only one if in one problem. If it is required to use, multiple if blocks, multiple independent if blocks, then we can use the same. Like here, first if block has been used to swap the values. If B is greater than A, we will swap. If A is greater than B, we will not do anything. So we do not have any else block. So now this part is done. Now we have the larger number inside X and the smaller number inside Y. So now what will I do? I will do the older thing we have just checked. I will check if B is 0. If B is 0, then I will print. I will only print you full. You don't know, you cannot give 0 into the second number, means into the smaller number. And otherwise, else, I will print. The result is A by B. Oh, sorry, not A by B, it is X and Y. Okay, sorry. Okay, let me change this. Okay, I am making some mistakes. Sorry for that. Okay, now it's okay. Yeah, A by B. But it is good. It is always good to make some mistakes. Even if you try this in your local computer, you also will get some errors. So just have a look. If it is, if you are able to find it, it is very good. Otherwise, try again. That will be my message. Anyway, so let me give some data like 20 and 4 or 20 and 3. Say it is 5. Very good. So let me run it once again for you. Suppose I am giving 20 and 0. So it will give you full. Okay. And even if I give the smaller number at first and the larger number in the second value, 520, so it will swap the values 20 and 5 and show the division, that is 4. Look, right? So yeah, so I think we all know now how to tackle independent if block, because this if is independent with this if. Okay, so we can use multiple ifs but independent to each other. Okay, so let me quickly go to the topic 2. We have to cover 5 topics, so these are smalls, but now nested if. So we can use multiple dependent if block as well. Dependent if block means if blocks written inside another if block or else block. So okay, let me choose a program like enter a month number and find the number of days in it. Okay, so month number is 1. I have to enter 1 for January. I have to enter 2 for February. So in that manner, I can give 12 different numbers. So enter the month number. So M, look carefully because this is very important. Okay, so month number, let me give it M for month. So if M equals to 1, then what I will print? I will print, because it is showing the month is January, so I will print 31 days. And okay, else I will say all the months other than January will come here. I will print other than January, sorry, other than Jan. So all the numbers will come here, which is not 1. Okay, let me run it quickly first before going further. It is taking some time, so please run quickly. Okay, yeah, it came. So if I write 1, it will give, okay, 31 days, because you have chosen month number 1, that is January. I think you are able to understand the problem, what it is asking for. So if I give 2, it will go other than January, obviously, because value is not equals to 1. So for all other values, it will go inside the else block. If I give 10, it will go other than Jan. Okay, so all the values I will get currently inside else. So in else, I can write another if, like if M equals to 2, then I will print, sorry, oh, my cursor is not going up. Okay, anyway, yeah, then I will print 28 or 29 days you can have as per the leap year. I will not calculate the leap year in this problem, but I can say if you press 2, it will be 28 or 29. Otherwise, Else, if it is not 2, then I can say other than Jan and Feb. Are you able to get this idea? Let me write it first. Jan and Feb. Okay. So it is very important to give this space. You can see I am writing in a good manner. So you can easily visualize this if else part is inside else, right? So I can give if m equals to if m equals to 1, then 31 days. If not, then everything will come, all the numbers will come in this else block. So out of those all the numbers, I will check if the number is 2. If yes, I will print 28 or 29 days. If it is not even 2, it will go inside the else block again and it will print other than January and February. So all other months goes inside Jan and Feb. Okay. So now let me proceed further. So inside else block, I will get all the numbers including 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I will write m equals to 3. Then I will say the print month is March or 31 days. Okay. Else I will say, okay, this is not the month of Jan, not the month of Feb, and not the month of March. It is something else, right? So mdiff, that's all. So let me run it, and you can complete that program now in your personal laptop or desktop or mobile. I think it is pretty cool now. Okay, so let me give a number like 1 January. It is showing 31 days. Fine. Let me run it for another values like say 3. So it is giving 31 days again. So let me give 2 for February. So it will give 28 to 29 days. Look, automatically it is giving, but actually it is not automatic. I have written all the codes, all the supportive codes. So if I write June, June is 30 days, but we have not mentioned June here. So it will give other than Jan, Feb, March. Okay, so you can complete a ladder of if else like this. It is called even if else ladder. Okay, so you can write a code for that, and at last you can write invalid month. If anyone gives any values other than 1 to 12, yeah, it will be printed like the invalid month. Okay, so I think you will be able to do it now because it will take much time to write this program. I will show you later, okay, how to write this code in more efficient manner. Okay, but this is the if else ladder. I think idea is clear. If not, I will recommend you to pause the video and go back and do it by your hand in your personal computer or laptop or mobile. Okay, so in your QBasic compiler. So what is the next problem? It is enter marks and print the grades. Okay, okay, look, if you get, you will okay, sorry, the message is wrong here. It is showing percentage of attendance. It should be percentage of marks. Okay, it is wrong. It is mentioned wrong here. So anyway, so if you get the marks 91 to 100, it will say, okay, the grade is A. If you get a mark 71 to 90, it will say grade B. If the marks is 51 to 70, grade C. So computer will be printing the same for you. Okay, so let me take the marks first. Let me delete everything else. So I will write the complete program here for this problem. So enter the marks or enter your marks and computer will tell your grade. Okay, so aim for marks and again. So I will first check if m is greater than 91. If m is greater than 91, then I will print grade A or just A. Let me print just A. So now anyone might ask me that, okay, you are giving a wrong statement. If anyone gives 150, so what will happen? It will show A for 150, but anyone cannot get a mark greater than 100. So it will be good if m, I let me write one comment like if m is greater than 100, then I will print invalid marks. Sorry, invalid marks. Else I will check if else means all the marks less than equals to 100 will come into this else part. All the marks will come into that part, into else part. So in between, I will check. In between else part, I will check m is greater than 91. Then I can print it. All other marks from 0 to 90, it will goes. Even all the marks, including negative marks as well. All the marks lesser than 90, lesser than equals to 90 will come here into this else part. So into the else part, I will again check if the marks is greater than, I have missed one thing. It should be greater than equals to. So in the else part, I will check if the marks is greater than equals to 71. If yes, then I will print B. Sorry, B. Okay. So else, I will check print. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Okay, so I can write here print. Okay, I'm not going to write anything. So in else part, I will write again if aim aim is greater than equals to 51, then I will print C. So it is very important to give this alignment, this space before I'm writing any statement. Otherwise, you will be confused. Even it happens for me. I will not going to write anything else because all the numbers 0 to 50 will come here into this else part. So I will check again if the marks is greater than equals to 31. Then I will print. D. The grade is D. So else for all other marks, I can write. Just a minute, let me align it correctly. Yeah, else I can write print E. Okay, let me align. Yeah, print E. Okay, even if anyone gets minus mark, then also I do not need to check it once again because for else it will go into the end if part. Okay, like look, this if and else is completed. Now I will come to this alignment means into this line, if else and this line, and I will close the that if end if. Okay, now I have to come into this line if else and end if. Let me align, yeah, end if, and now let me align into this if else, and it is end if. And if I have left anything else, I have to check. Yeah, there is another if. Okay, and I have to give it here end if. So look, I have written the program in well manner, I can say. So some of you write the program in this manner, end if kind of that. So that is not a good manner to print. Okay, so it is a way of writing the program in actual alignment. Okay, so let me run the program. Okay, so okay, it is taking some time. So now the computer will give me the grade. I will input the numbers, like let me input first 200. I got 200 marks. Computer will say invalid marks. Okay, so because no one can get more than 100% mark. Okay, so suppose I have received 93. So it will say me A, your grade is A. Okay, so if I give a number like 75, okay, I got 75, it is B. So any number, any marks you can enter and it will give the corresponding answer. Like suppose if I give, okay, I have failed in mathematics. Say I got 20. So it will say your grade is E. Okay, your grade is E. Okay, so that is the program you have to do. Okay, so I think it is clear. If not, you can go back and pause the video. You can type the program by your hand in your compiler. I am saying this again and again because this is an important part of programming. If you do not know if and for loop is the next chapter. But if you do not know if and for loop, you will not be good at programming. For loop is the first priority and if is the second priority, but if is mandatory. Okay, if and for loop you have to know. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so let me move to the next topic quickly. It is topic 3, compositive. Okay, now we will solve the leftover program that I left for you. Enter the month number and find the number of days in it. Okay, so let me go inside the program. Okay, I should have taken a copy of that. Anyway, let me take a copy of this first. I might require the same letter. So let me take a copy. Yeah. So yeah, it would be good if otherwise I have to write. Anyway, let me write it once again. So the problem is clear, I guess, right? The end we need to enter a month number and it will print the number of days inside. Okay, number of days inside. Okay, so this time I will write it in a efficient way. Enter the month number in. Okay, so I will check first. I can give and or because we have already checked. It is a long program. If we have to if we have to list all the month equals to 1, month equals to 2. Last time we have written till 3 till month of March. But if you want to cover all the months, it will be a hectic job. So to overcome that, we can write one thing like if the month is greater than 12 and we can use this and or. Okay, so this time I require or. So if the month is greater than 12 or month is less than 1 means invalid months these are. So I can write, we can combine two if into one. Okay, so this is being called compositive. So it is like print uh, invalid month. Okay, so I have combined two if statements together. Else else if m equals to 1 means January, or it here is okay, sorry, I have it should be or, not and or it will be or, simple or you can write. If m equals to 1 or m equals to 3, I do not know the month actually. I think January, March, and then May. So okay, or m equals to 5 or m equals to 7 or m equals to 8 or m equals to 10 or m equals to 12 means December. Then is printed correctly or not? Just a minute. M at 12 and okay, I cannot see the right part. 10 or 12, then where is then? Okay, just a minute. Yeah, then it's written correctly. Okay, so what I will do? I will do print 31 days. Correct. Else means m is holding some other values, right? So I will check if m equals to 2. If m equals to 2, then I will say it is 28 or 29 days. Print 28 or 29 days. It is a shortcut. Else, even m is not 2, m is not greater than 12 or 1, m is not equals to 1, 3, 5, m is not holding any of the values. If m is not 2, then it is surely 30 days. Because it might be the month like 4, month like 6, month like 9, month like 11 means April, June, uh, November, and September. Okay, so like that. So what else I left? The uh, end if, and the last end if. Yeah. So this is the complete program now. This is the complete program now. Look, I think you are able to understand. If not, you can go back, and if you are able to understand, it is very good. I have to appreciate you. Okay, it is the way you can do the program. Even you can do it in some different manner as well. Like you can misplace this if and else. Like I can write if m is less than equals to 12, and you have to be careful in this and or part. Okay, here it will be and means, here it will be and means the month should be lesser than 12 and greater than 1. Then it is an this is a valid month. Okay, it has to be simultaneous, means it has to be greater than less than equals to 12 and greater than equals to 1, means 1 to 12 it has to be. Then only I can do this part. Otherwise I have to write, otherwise I have to write else of the first if statement I have to write invalid month. So you can do stuff like this. Whatever will come into your mind first, go for that. So you can write all the codes inside this if and everything else here. Even if we can do something like if m equals to 4 or m equals to 6 or m equals to 9 or m equals to 11, then 30 days. Else whatever is left is m equals to 2. So for that I can write 28 to 29 days. Anything you can go for. Okay, it doesn't means it depends only on you. Okay, whatever comes into your mind first, go for that. Okay, but you have to correctly understand when you should give and when you should give or. We have used or in between because m might be 1 or m might be 3 or m might be 5. It cannot hold all the values, means m equals to 1 and m equals to 3 and m equals to 5, means m is taking all 1 3 5. It cannot happen. That's why I have used or here. Okay, so enter the month number. Let me give some number like 12 December, because last time we are not able to write the program till 12, so we will run the program for 12 now. It is showing 31 days. Okay, very good. So let me give some other values like 11, like the month of November. It has 30 days. Very good. Okay, I hope you are able to understand. Yeah, very good then. Okay, so let me go into the next problem. Okay, topic 3 is covered. Topic 4, nested if versus composite if. So enter marks and print the grades. Again, percentage of marks and yeah. So we can reuse the program we used earlier. So let me go to the this part. Okay, let me copy this because it will save time actually. Rather printing the same again and again, it will surely save some time. Okay, so what I will do, I will reuse this input statement, enter the marks, I will say, and after that I will paste it. Yeah, it is correctly being pasted. So anyone might think, okay, so I can give here one thing like m greater than 100, or if the marks is greater than 100, or I can introduce like this, if the marks is less than 0, then I can say invalid marks. Okay, else I do not require else. I can give like if. Okay, let me give an end if here. Okay, so if some of you might are already thinking, I can give if m is greater than 91 and if m less than 100 equals to 100, means m lies between 91 and 100, then I can print a. And end if I do not need to be dependent on the other if. I can do that. If m greater than 71 and m what are the marks, 90. Okay, and m less than equals to 90, then I will say print b. Okay, and end if. Okay, okay, let me delete the same, otherwise it will create a wrong visual to you, might be. So okay, so like that I can write some individual if blocks like this. So if m, I have to write it multiple times, but yeah, I am ready to do that for you. So and m less than equals to 70, then print. But I want you as well to practice the same in your computer. It might be taking some time. Even in my college days, when I tried the same, it takes several months even to learn this if, because I was really scared of it at that time. You can visit my blog, you will get to know everything about me. I suffered a lot, so I do not want you to suffer the same. My only purpose is to show you the actual functionality of if or the for the programming. So we are almost done. So we can do one thing. We can write else print e. Sorry, in capital, because I am writing in capital. You can write in any case. Okay. So this is the code I can write. Okay. Let me run it. So suppose I get a if I get bad marks in my exams, let's say 40. Okay. Suppose I receive taking asking for second. Okay, it is giving D. Okay, it is good to do some mistakes so that you will be able to learn. Okay, look, I have taken two input statements. Okay, let me run it once again. Let me run it once again, and let me give the same input once again. The 40, it will be grade D, correct? But we have a problem in this program. What is that? Let me show you. If you are already able to understand what is the mistake, it is very good. If not, please check. If I give 95, what it should print? It should print A, but here it will print A and E. Why E? Because these if loop, these if blocks are independent. So it is taking 100 and 0, invalid. No, it will not print this part. 91 to 100, it will print yes, A. It will print A. It will not execute this part. It is not satisfying this. It is not satisfying this. So it will come to the else part. As these are the independent, so this highlighted if else block is independent to rest of the program. Okay, so it will show as it is not satisfying this if, it will come into that else block and it will print E. So that's why we are able to see A and E in our program whenever we are running it. Okay, clear, I guess. So to handle it in a good way, what you need to do, you need to introduce a separate if m is lesser than equals to 30 and m greater than equals to 1, 30 to 1, then only I will print E. Okay, I think we are done. Now it will give the correct result. Let me give the, let me enter the same value once again. It should print only grade A. Okay, now this ifs are independent, totally independent. 90. So you have to be careful. Okay, 90, it is giving B because I have to get 91 to 100 to get the grade A. So if I get 95, it is grade A. Look. Okay. So still, I will prefer to use nested if and composite if both. Means it is not good because if I give 95 marks, still it is covering this if block 1, 2, 3, third if block, fourth if block, fifth if block, sixth if block. So it is going through all the if block and it keeps checking. So it is not a good way for your program. So it becomes slow. Okay, so if you check all the condition, it will become slow. So better to do if m greater than 100 and less than 0, then invalid marks. Very well, very fine. But if it is not, then goes into that. And if it is printing A successfully, then do not need to go the other blocks. So that I will keep all other blocks inside else statement. And if it is satisfying B, then do not need to go further. I will keep everything else into this block. So like that. So use both the things, but carefully. Sometimes it will be needed, sometimes it will not be needed. So yeah, that's all. Let me do it. Sorry, it will be end if. So use both the things, but carefully. So if you are able to get the idea, so it is very good. If not, you can again, my suggestion will be same. Do it by in your compiler, QBasic compiler. Okay. So here, if we use the nested if, we do not require to write many lines like this. I do not need to write this line. Automatically, else will be 31 to 50, right? So many lines, like I do not need to write this line because it is coming into this else block, because it is not lies between 71 to 90, and it is not lies in any of this range, so that it comes into this if block. So like that, I can skip this part as well. So choose your if and else carefully. So I will suggest to go through the exercise at the last of this video. Okay, I will show how to get the exercise. Okay, so that is the optimum code. Uh, Composite if in the first part, and then nested if. Okay, very good. Okay, I have to delete this part as well. Sorry. Oh, I have missed the e. Okay, sorry. Okay, just let me accommodate e as well. I missed the same. Even I have to be careful a bit. So if m greater than equals to 30, so it will print d, else print f, print e, else print e. That's all it is. Now it is done. Okay, so this is the optimum code you have to write. So if it is greater than 30, it will print D, means, and if not, it will obviously less than 30. So you can write print D. Okay, that's all for topic 4. Let me go into the last topic for today. It is the efficient use of composite if. Like, if I write a question, you will get admission in your school or in your college if you have 80% attendance, 70% marks in practical, and 60% marks in theory. Okay, so let me write the code quickly. It is mandatory for if to go through the exercise. Okay, you have to go everything in your compiler, otherwise you will not be able to understand. Okay, so I am trying my best to uh, to show all the uses of if. It might be not valid for your exam, but if you can, if you really want to learn everything, so that I am showing all the aspects of if. So enter your practical marks. It will be, say, practical for T, and input. This is our last problem. So have some patience. Enter theory marks. It will be inserted into T. Okay, sorry, I forgot to give T a semicolon. Yeah. So now, as per the criteria of the school, they are asking for 80% attendance, 70% marks, and 60% marks in theory, and 70% practical. So I have to give if a greater than equals to 80, and P greater than equals to 70, and T greater than equals to 60, then, so if you satisfy all the criteria, then you will they will say yes, or admitted, say. And yes, admitted. And else, if you miss any of them, you have to they will print a message like, sorry, you cannot get the admission. I think it is clear now. It is a simple if. Okay, so suppose in a second school they are asking for any one criteria. Either you have to have 80% attendance, or 70% marks in practical, or 60% in theory. So any one of them. Okay, they have written you can fulfill any one between these three conditions. Okay, so what you need to do, you just need to replace this and with or. Let me do that for you, and please go through the exercise. Okay, so or okay, so let me run the same. Okay, I forgot to run the program. Okay, let me run this one for you. Suppose I am bad, I have not good attendance, so, and not good marks in theory, because I do not like theory much. So I have an attendance like 20%. Okay, in school. In practical, I got 90% marks, but in theory, I got only 30. Say, so will I get admitted into that school? Yes, admitted, because they have asked for any one criteria is true. So similarly, I have written my code as or, but if it is and, I'm not going to admitted in that school. Okay. So in third school, they are more innovative. They are asking for 80% attendance. Otherwise, if you are not able to get 80% attendance, then you need both 75% marks in practical and 60% in theory. It should not be like you are getting 20% attendance and only getting marks in practical papers. So that would not be okay. Either 80% attendance or 70% plus 60%. Any one of them. Okay. 70% plus 60% combo, or only 80% would be enough. Okay. So what I will do, so I should, it should be A greater than equals to 80, or P greater than equals to 70 and T greater than equals to 60. Both of them in bracket, or 80 alone. Okay, able to get the idea? Let me quickly check with my old details, like I have attendance of 20%, so they will surely not bother me. So practical marks I have 90, say, and theory marks 30. So I will not get admitted because I am not able to providing the combination of 90% marks in practical and 30% marks in theory. Look, it is they are saying sorry. But if I somehow can get the marks in theory greater than 60, let's check. My attendance is poor, but if I get 90% in practical, in theory also 90%, then I will get admitted, because I have a combination. I have received desired marks both in practical and theory. So efficiently, by this way, you can use this program or this if block. So you will get many problems in your in the exercise. Okay, so let me guide you. So first I will recommend to go through this video once again and do all the programs by your hand, then go to the exercise. So this is our Facebook group link. Let me go to the Facebook. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, so this is our group. You can go to photo, you can go to album, and you can go to QBasic specific exercise. Okay, so this folder, this album, you will get everything, all the exercise for look, nested if, and starting if. So it is taking some time. Anyway, so you can go to this album and solve this problem. Okay, and if you face any difficulties for these chapters, the nested if and composite if for starting if, you can come back to me through the email ID I have provided, or you can comment in this video comment section, and I will try to reach it. I will try to answer all of your queries or doubts. Okay, so best of luck. Just solve it by yourself. Bye bye.